Hello, folks. Match2128 going solo as I usually do for these New Japan Strongs, mostly live shows and predictions, mostly because I don't want to bug Jose, and these are kind of spur in the moment for me. In case, Friday, April 12th, New Japan presents Windy City Riot 2024. Location, the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. This is, unlike most New Japan content I have predicted for, this one is behind a paywall. It's the quote-unquote pay-per-view. If you have a New Japan World account, you're going to have to pay 19 or not, you're going to have to pay 20 bucks. This is a separate purchase show. Yeah, I hate this little caveat too, but grin and bear it, folks. Just fucking grin and bear it. 10 matches on the card. 11 matches on the card if you count the kickoffs. Opening pre-show match, Matt Vandagriff versus Zane J. This is what it is. Two prospects going at it. I'm going to give this to Vandagriff. So let's move on. Women tag match. Mina Shirakawa and Viva of Stardom take on Alex Windsor and Trish Adora of Rev Pro and AEW, respectively. This is a tough one to pick. But if we're going for experience, I'm going to give this to Shirakawa and Vaughn. Now we get to the main card. We kick it off with Minoru Suzuki against Ren Narita. How a 5-month stretch changes things. A year ago, these two, along with Desperado, were part of the Strong Style 6-man team. And Narita got his first taste of gold with Suzuki, the never Openweight 6-man belts. But Suzuki has since gone freelance, and Narita, after the best of 7 went to a draw, and he and Umino couldn't get beyond the 6-point hump, he joined House of Torture and has gone out of his way to disrespect everything that Shibata stood for, everything that he once stood for. You know what, Narita? I hope Suzuki beats your fucking ass. Because with the rest of House of Torture, with the exception of Scapegoat Jack Perry in Taiwan this coming weekend, you don't have your run-of-the-mill backup. No Sho, no Yujiro, no Dick Togo, no Kanemaru, no Evil. With the exception of Scapegoat Jack, you're on your own, you little bitch. I'm going to give this to Suzuki to win. Next up, Strong Women's title. AZM against Stephanie Vaquer. Fresh off defeating Julia, who's on her way to the WWE, a few weeks back in Korakuen Hall, last month in Korakuen Hall. Can the former high-speed champion in Stardom take the NJPW Strong Women's title? I mean, she's up against the CMLL World's Women Single and Tag Champion, as well as the Strong Women's Strong Champion NJPW. I don't see it happening. I'm taking Stephanie Vaquer to retain the title. Fatal 4-way for the Strong Openweight Tag titles. ELP, Hikuleo, and God, Hikuleo and El Phantasmo defend against TMDK, Shane Haste, and Mikey Nicholls. Where the fuck has Mikey been these last few weeks? West Coast Wrecking Crew, Jorel Nelson and Royce Issacs, and the Odd Duck team of Fred Rosser and Filthy Tom Lawlor. I don't see what the connection is with the lattermost team, to be perfectly honest. I really don't. But if I'm going to pick someone, I'm taking God to retain. This is their 6th title defense, the longest anyone has gone and most successful anyone has been with this belt, with this set of belts. Because prior to God, no one's been able to hold this for further beyond the second defense, their second defense, maybe even their third. Shota Umino against scapegoat Jack Perry. I say Shooter gets his payback for the New Japan Cup. Because same principle applies with Narita. What applies with Narita applies with Jack. He doesn't have with the exception of Narita, Jack doesn't have the rest of the House of Torture to back him up. As the rest of the lot are on a plane are going to be on a plane to Taiwan this weekend, to Taipei this weekend, where 3 of them, Sho, Kanemaru, and Evil, are going to be part of that 14 tournament to crown the new never openweight 6-man tag champions, alongside LIJ's Yota Tsuji, Bushi, and Shingo Takagi, the United Empire's Francesco Akira, Callum Newman, and Great Khan, and Toriano, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Bolton Oleg. So I say Shooter gets payback. Mustafa Ali, the TNA X Division champion, goes up against Hiromu Takahashi. This one will be a tough one. They're both very skilled. One a high flyer, the other more interested in a ground attack. Let's flip the pick. Heads, Ali. Tails, Takahashi. Here we go. Coin says Tails, Takahashi. Riot rules 8-man tornado tag match. Team Kingston versus Team Kid. The members will be revealed on entrance, i.e., we're not going to know who the other 6 men, 3 for each side, will be until the night of the match, the moment the match kicks off. Eddie has been in a tailspin. He dropped the Continental Crown to Okada on the March 20th Dynamite taping. On the March 19th taping of Dynamite. Or maybe it was March 20th. Yeah, 20th. He dropped the Ring of Honor World title to Mark Briscoe at Supercard last Friday, allowing Mark to finish his own story and become Ring of Honor's top dog at long last. Now, the only belt he's got left, NJPW Strong title, something Gabe has been chasing him for. I'm going to give this to Team Kid, especially if all the members of Kid's team are War Dogs. David Finley, Drill Maloney, and Clark Connors especially. Note I didn't say Al Coughlin because Coughlin's back issues injuries to his back he suffered at the Dog Pound cage match back in February have forced him into early retirement, which is a fucking shame. Matt Riddle, in his 3rd defense of the NJPW World Television title, goes up against the leader of TMDK, Zack Sabre Jr. The old adage, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Neither Bad Dude Tito or Kosei Fuja could get the belt off Matt in Major League Wrestling. Now Zack's got to do it himself and reclaim the title. Because does he really want this beatnik druggie holding that title? No. I mean, Riddle's a stoner. It's hard for him to get clean. I mean, what's he got to do just to be allowed to wrestle on Japanese soil proper? Tell Mr. Mackey that he swears he won't bring marijuana, bring weed, crack, tar, or smack or meth with him to the venues or on the tours. I mean, seriously, it's like, little son, crack's bad. Crack is bad, okay? You do crack, we have to cut you, okay? Same thing with marijuana. And tar, smack, pot. Your smoking habit bad, okay? Okay? Zach, just get the belt back and bring it home. I'm taking you to win this one. Though I do suspect Riddle is going to find a way to win. Next up, Nick Nemeth against Tomohiro Ishii. The IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion better have eyes in the back of his head. Because if Finley is in the venue and is part of the eight-man Riot Rules Tornado tag match, Nick better watch out because we know David Finley's going to be coming back for that belt fairly soon. I'm going to take Nick Nemeth to win. Finally, the main event for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Tetsuya Naito, in his third defense, defends against Jon Moxley. Now, we know that Naito's next defense after this will come at Dontaku. The question is, who's he going to face? He's already done his feud with Sonata. He beat back Tsuji, and after he beats Moxley, who's next? On paper, you would say the next one on the chopping block would be the runner-up of the New Japan Cup, that being Hiroki Goto. The problem with that is Goto, for the fifth time in his career, is the co-holder of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Titles. And do you really want to give the title shot to Evil? Fuck no, that would be a nightmare. If he got the title back or got put in the title match, it would lead to a massive boycott with Evil jumping Goto and jumping the line. Keep in mind, the only reason Evil's in Bullet Club and formed his own subgroup, House of Torture, is because back in 2020 when the scamdemic hit, Bullet Club, the rest of the major players in Bullet Club were abroad. Thus, they were stretched from March to around September. The group had been stretched thin. In 2020, they needed to poach. And I find it unbearably stupid. But whichever way they go with Naito's next challenger on May 4th in Fukuoka, I'm going to say he walks in and out of Chi-Town still the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. There's not really much sense in putting the belt on Moxley in my case. V3 for El Ingobernable. Buenas noches, Chicago. All the gratitude to the fan base, yada yada, and then the roll call. Bushi, Hiromu, Takagi, Titan, Yota, y Naito. Nosotros, los Ingobernables de Japón. And we close out the night like that. No disrespect to you, Mox, but you're not leaving Chi-Town with the richest prize in Japanese professional wrestling. You're just not. That's it for me. Leave a comment, smash the like, sub to the channel. This is Mets 228 signing out. Goodbye. Good fucking night. Bang.